there's three basic reasons why Joseph will amend revelations in the Doctrine and Covenants, even after they're published. Like section 20 will go through an amendment from the 1833 Book of Commandments to the 1835 Doctrine and Covenants. He'll amend them because there's errors in typography or transcription, editorial kind of, we get that. That one's easy. But Joseph will also amend things to clarify intent so that people don't misunderstand something. So one example, if I can I use yours?
You
Tyler?
can use my scriptures.
Look how colorful those are. That's wonderful.
I was deprived as a child. I didn't get enough coloring
beautiful.
books, so I'm taking it out on my scriptures today.
Go to verse 40. So in section 20, verse 40, it's talking about you're going to ordain elders and priests and teachers and deacons. What do these priests and elders do? Look at verse 40. And to administer bread and wine, the emblems of the flesh and blood of Christ. The earliest written version that we have of this, and printed versions of it, doesn't say the emblems of the flesh and blood. It says to administer the flesh and blood of Christ. As though, and some people could misunderstand that, like, is this bread of life?
Is this the bread of life sermon?
Is this transubstantiation?
Transubstantiation doctrine?
So they'll go on and clarify later the emblems. This represents the blood and flesh of Christ. So that's a clarification addition that is made. Or if you noticed, when the church is organized, there's only 4 priesthood offices. There's elder, deacon, teacher, priest. But if you look in section 20, you suddenly get in there references to, like, look at verse 66. The presiding elders, traveling bishops, high counselors, high priests. Now, that was not revealed in April of 1830. Joseph, there's not a bishop in the church until 1831. We don't get high priests until June of 1831. So those are later additions to Joseph as he learned. So the third reason why, so errors in typography and transcription, clarifications, and if Joseph gets further revelation on subjects that he feels should be added to it, he'll go back and amend that into sections of the Doctrine and Covenants.
That's really helpful because it points us to this idea of an unfolding restoration, that it's not God from the beginning giving them a book that is complete and perfect and entirely finished from the beginning of the coming forth of the church. It's like a plant, a tree that's growing, and a new branch all of a sudden sprouts out here that we didn't know about back in 1830, but it's part of the church. And
it's like adding a leg on. You did these, and then we got to make sure
we got to add a new one.
Yeah.
And now we live in the 21st century, and I love the fact that we are not bound by only what is written in the scriptures, but we have living prophets whose right and authority it is to receive revelation from the Lord to say, let's take all the good that we've got from the past and we're going to move forward in possibly new directions. That's one of the beauties to me of a living, breathing, growing church. It is the church of Jesus Christ.